Good morning, everyone. I hope you are all as excited as I am because today is a day packed with energy, inspiration, and opportunity. Welcome to our annual High School Scientific Conference of 2024. My name is Aji, and I have the honor of being your MC for this amazing event. Beside me is my MC colleague, Adam, who will also be speaking on behalf of this conference.
Good morning to our esteemed participants. On behalf of the High School Scientific Conference, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to this exciting conference.
We both hope you all are doing great and are excited to participate in today's conference. We are beyond grateful for your participation, and we've got an incredible lineup of speakers, workshops, and activities planned for you today. Whether you're here to explore new ideas, connect with peers, or just to see what all the buzz is about, there's something for everyone. Hopefully, today's webinar can go well and, of course, bring good benefits for all of us.
To the Honorable, the Headmaster of SMA Negeri 10 Kota Bekasi, Mr. Dr. Mukaramah MPD, the Vice Principal of Student Affairs, Mutmainah MPD, our LLC Extracurricular Supervisor, Diana Prastila SPD, Head of LLC, Aksi Redaction, and Kir Extracurriculars, Nisasila Astagina Kireiriko, Aska Shauki Mushafa, and Putri Kamelia Rahma. And last but not least, the Chairman of the Committee of the High School Scientific Conference 2024, Jason Ivan Christian. Along with our respectable conference speakers, as well as the teachers, staff, and administration, we also welcome our colleagues and all of the participants who are proud for taking their time to be a part of this conference.
Well, unfortunately, our headmaster and LLC supervisor cannot communicate directly with their message right now, but they have given us a warm welcoming message video. And now let us start off with the video from our headmaster. Please draw your attention to Mrs. Dr. Randa Haji Mukaroma, MPD.
Good morning Indonesian time, distinguished expert to all present as speaker and all participants of the High School Scientific Conference 2024, whom I'm proud of. First of all, I am proud to present this annual event organized by the Extracurricular Language and Literature Club. The High School Scientific Conference 2024 is a platform to broaden our horizon and knowledge in the fields of science, technology, and economics. We will receive information and understanding directly for experts in the respective fields. I extend my deep gratitude to all parties who have collaborated to make this event a success, namely the committees from LLC, KIR, OSIS, and Aksi Redaksi. Without your hard work and dedication, this event would to have come to fruition. To the participants, I encourage you to listen attentively to the presentation from the speakers. Take this opportunity to ask questions and engage actively in the discussion session later. By doing so, we can all gain deeper and more beneficial knowledge for our future. Thus, I officially declare the Hssc 2024 open. Thank you!
Okay, thank you for our heartwarming welcoming message that was done by Mrs. Liana Prastila, SPD. Okay, so now moving on to our next welcoming message that will be from our headmaster. Please draw your attention to Mrs. Dr. Anda Mukarramah, MPD.
Good morning, respected speakers, teachers, committee members, and esteemed participants. On this auspicious occasion, we are delighted to welcome the 2024 High School Scientific Conference as an annual program of the Language and Literature Club. This online webinar event is a precious opportunity for high school students, both domestically and internationally, to engage in direct discussion with experts in their field. The Hssc not only enriches our knowledge but also serves as a platform to enhance for your English language skill. I hope all participants will make the most of this opportunity, ask questions, and actively participate. On behalf of SMA Negeri 10 Bekasi, we extend our gratitude to the speakers, teachers, and participants who have supported this event. May the Hssc run smoothly and be beneficial for all of us. Thank you. Enjoy the event.
Thank you very much for the heartwarming message from our head of school of SMA Negeri 10 Kota Bekasi. So now let's move on to the message from our chairman of the Committee of High School Scientific Conference of 2024, Jason Ivan Christian, will be giving us an opening message. The time and place is yours.
Hello, good morning everyone. Thank you for joining this webinar entitled Integrating Economic Dynamics, Artificial Intelligence, and Scientific Innovation to Achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs. Our discussion is crucial as we face global challenges where economic shift, AI advancements, and scientific innovation play a role in achieving sustainable development. I hope today's discussion will inspire actionable ideas for a more sustainable and prosperous future. Enjoy the webinar and may it be insightful for all. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Jason as the Chief Committee of High School Scientific Conference 2024 for the opening message. All right, now we are finished with our first segment. Let us venture on towards the next agenda for today, the CV reading, which will be led by our amazing moderators. Let's kick things off with a bang. Get ready to be inspired, challenged, and empowered. Remember, today is all about making connections, exploring new horizons, so don't be shy and make the most of every moment. The lovely, the time and place is yours.
Thank you, Madam Menaji. Before we begin today's main agenda, let us moderators introduce ourselves. My name is Lovely, and I have Jessica and Mr. Akta with me. And also with our speakers, Sir Waraseth, Sir Jay, and Ms. Samaha alongside us. It is my greatest pleasure here to be with you all today. Now, I would like to ask the participants first, if you're okay with it. I will now share my screen. Can you guys see the screen now? I do hope so. So actually, what do we want to discuss? Well, you'll find out very soon. Today, we will discuss with our speakers about combining economic dynamics, artificial intelligence, and scientific innovation to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, or the SDGs. Then we will embark on an in-depth exploration of the Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, a set of 17 ambitious global objectives that guide our collective efforts toward a better, more sustainable future. Our session today will focus specifically on the dynamic interplay between these goals and the rapidly evolving field of artificial intelligence, economic, and science. We'll start by getting to know what is the Sustainable Development Goals. So SDGs, also known as the Global Goals, were adopted by the United Nations in 2015 as a universal call to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that by 2030 all people enjoy peace and prosperity. SDGs also has its own objectives, which are to end poverty and hunger, ensure healthy lives, education, and achieve gender equality for all. Here are all of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, which most are going to be correlated with 3 of our topic discussions today. And so, to get to know our speaker better, before we start the discussion session, let us read our speaker's CV, Sir Waraseth. His name is Waraseth Limonech, and he is a computer engineering student at Sirindorn International Institute of Technology, Thammasat University. He has a solid foundation in computer engineering principles and a passion for technological innovation. His academic journey has provided him with the skills and knowledge necessary to tackle complex engineering challenges and contribute effectively to various projects. The rest of his achievements and educational background are shown on the screen. That's all for Sir Waraseth's CV, so without any further ado, let's start our first discussion material. We know that artificial intelligence, or AI, has been heralded as one of the most transformative technologies of our time, with far-reaching implications across all sectors. And to start our discussion, I would like to invite our distinguished speaker, Sir Waraseth, to share his insight on the role of AI in supporting the SDGs. So, let's welcome. Hello, Sir Waraseth.
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good now. So how about you? Yeah.
Well, I'm very excited to be moderating you through this whole presentation. So, actually, Mr. Okta told me to just call you by Mr. Win, if that's okay with you?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. So, Mr. Win, please do tell me whenever you want me to move the slides.
Okay,
Let's begin, shall we?
Okay, thank you. Okay, hello everyone, and let me introduce myself again. My name is Waraseth Limwanit. Anyway, you can call me Win. Yeah, and so for today's topic that I'm going to share to you is about the role of the artificial intelligence in supporting the Sustainable Development Goals. And before going that, okay, please let's move the slides for me. Okay, so before we are going into detail, let me ask you all that is what is AI, or what is the artificial intelligence? You guys can type in the chat. Is it okay if you want to share?
Does
Okay.
anyone want to share what AI means in your guys' opinions? Please do send your opinions on the chat box. And personally, for me though, AI always has something to do with the rapidly evolving of technology, Sir Win.
Yeah, and yeah, yes, that is a correct answer. And actually, if you ask for like 10 people, I'm sure that you will get like a 10 different answer, because in the real world we still define what is this word, what is the AI, by many aspects. But anyway, I still have like heard the answers that the AI is like a ChatGPT, if you notice this. But if you look in this picture, you will see that actually the artificial intelligence has much more than that, but ChatGPT is only a part of it. And if you look closely into this picture, the ChatGPT is at the deepest of the circle that is called GPT. But anyway, actually the AI capabilities have reached the point where it would be useful for many applications. And for me to say that AI today has two main important technologies called predictive AI, and another thing is called generative AI. For the first thing is predictive AI, or the supervised learning, often used as something called deep learning. It is very good at labeling things and very good at taking an input and computing an output, such as we input an email and then tell me if a spam or not, or input a picture and tell me what is in the picture. So this type of supervised learning or predictive AI learns from a lot of data about inputs and outputs. And today we use it for many applications like inspecting manufactured things in factories. We use it to optimize agriculture machinery. We also use it for diagnosing based on medical image. So actually a lot of use case. And another things is generative AI, which is popular as you know, as a ChatGPT, which generative AI is good at generating high quality text, images, audio, and also it can also generate like a video. It can also do things like have it write code or have it summarize documents. So that is a very brief of the AI. And yes, for the next slides, please. So what is the SDGs? Actually, we also mentioned that at the start of the session, so I would like to skip this part. And next slides, please. We know that the SDGs is a SDGs is like a United Nations, and they have set like 17 development goals that aim at addressing global challenges. So for today, the topics that I'm going to present to you is the next slide. The topics today that I'm going to share to you that how AI can contribute and take a role in the SDGs is in these 6 topics that has topics number 1, the no poverty, number 2, zero hunger, number 3, good health and well-being, number 4, quality education, number 7, affordable and clean energy, and number 13, climate action. Actually, these topics is the reason that I want to share to you is because I have heard many people, and when they mentioned it about the artificial intelligence, they also not think about only the ChatGPT or the chatbot. So in here, I'm going to try to make you see the more widely perspective about how AI can contribute to us and to the world. Okay, so let's start with the first topic. Next slide, that is no poverty. So how poverty can play the role in the for no poverty. Actually, the AI has a potential to play a pivotal role in alleviating poverty by, as I mentioned, that is how to train AI. We have to train it by the amount of data. And when we analyze the vast amounts of data, and that AI can identify the patterns and trends that if the governments and organizations use the artificial intelligence to help in this, also artificial intelligence can aid very more effectively. For example, like AI-driven platforms can analyze satellite image to assess poverty levels in different regions and enabling more precise allocation of the resource. So that is only the overview that I will give it to you for the first topic. And for the second next is zero hunger. So how's the zero hunger? We don't use AI like building the transformer like Optimus Primes to make your plants for you to eat. Actually, we can do more it like more wide and more different way. So in the agriculture, you may know this word that's the word about the smart agriculture. So AI can revolutionize how we grow and distribute food, like a precision farming powered by AI that allows farmers to optimize their crops use by monitoring soil conditions, weather patterns, and pest infestation. I have read the news that is come from like some countries, and they do this business about the smart agriculture. They use the sensor and also the camera and also the picture, and then use AI to predict and generate the information. And the way how we do the agriculture is we take a seed, we pour the water, and maybe if they have an insect that is a problem, they use the insecticides to kill the insects. And that is a problem because the amount of insecticide that the farmer have to use per year is very a lot, and that is a very harm for both the consumer and for both the farmer. So these guys, they use the AI to predict the area that they might their product might get destroyed by the insects. And now the AI can predict the only area and the amount of the insecticides that can only use and that you infect effectively. So that means the result is the farmer can use less insecticide and the plants will get less chemical things, and that is good for many people. So that is the point of how we adapt to the agriculture to reduce the problem of the hunger. Okay, so next please. The next is good health and well-being. Actually, this is one of the most topic that still developing and also develop very rapidly. For today's problem is that there are many tasks, actually too much task for the doctor and for the medical field, but only the amount of the doctor and only amount of the medical students that graduated per year is not enough. So AI also have a crucial role in this topic too. Actually, we have something that's called machine learning. So the machine learning algorithms can analyze medical data to assist in diagnostics. So now I'm also doing the project about AI to help the doctor in the eye section, that we put the image of the eyes and we put the AI to analyze and generate it, that which part of our eyes is hurt, and that is more easier for the doctor to pre-screen the patient, because in the past, the doctor, when they have to screen that which one of the people is in the danger level or this one is still okay, they might have to take a long time, and it's very hard for the doctor to do it all in the short period of time. So this is one of the example that how AI can help and how the AI can help them to manage the task more effectively. So next slide, please.
Sir Wen, if I may
Yeah.
ask,
Yes.
from point 3, good health and well-being, why is it important to use AI in promoting overall well-being, and how can it help address issues like stress and lifestyle-related health conditions?
Okay, so actually AI can do many things and is like an amazing tools. So the point is how AI can do this thing like that is they actually can because to alleviate the stress and to assist the many conditions of the bad conditions for the people is that we have trained and before the key point is that before we launch the one of the algorithm or one AI, we have to study a lot about the customers that is of us, the people. So in that case and in that time, we can know that how to help them, and with that point we can slowly developing by the coding, by the studying from the case of the people. And actually, if I say it may take much time, more than 30 minutes to make you guys understand how. But yeah, the most easiest way to say for now is that before we are trying to do one AI, we have one topic in our mind is that how we are going to help the people or makes their people's life better. So that is a point. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Sir Win, for the answer. Let's now pivot to SDG point 4, quality education.
Yes. So for this point may be very close to you guys since you are still students, and some
Yes,
of
that's very
peers,
true.
yeah, and some of you guys may a teacher or very close to the educational field. So how AI can help in this role? We have to say that in the old way, and in the present day, the way of how education take the role is that we put the students in the same room and the teacher trying to teach the same thing in the same piece. Yeah, and the problem is from the research, we knowing that different students and different people have the different learning pace. So that means if the first student's name A, they may understand 100% of it with this way of the teaching, but however, the second person, they may lack of at the beginning of how they studying. So this is the one of the AI can help them to solve these problems. Let me show you example. Next slide, please. Some of you may know this application. This application this application is very good and it's called Duolingo.
Duolingo?
Yeah, Duolingo is the application that is has the AI to teach you about the language. And the point is Duolingo, when you started to sign in and sign up, at first of the application, when you have to fill the first language of you, and also you have to do some of the assessment that is about how you well about your English. And after all of the analyzation with your data, the craziest way is that this application can create your own path of learning. So what is the benefit to you is that now you can learn by your own, like since at the basics and to the advanced level, and this is very good because now you don't have to compare it with the other people. You only have to compete yourself to learn. And also, more than this application of Duolingo, in today's world, there are so many applications that's still developing and have launched it for many years that try to develop the educational field, and also in for the managing for the teacher, that now teacher can use the AI. Some AI can helps them manage their works, their documents. So that is how AI can contribute to the educational field. And
that is very true. And fun fact, actually, Sir Win, we the LLC extracurricular actually uses Duolingo for our language learning, and it is also a part of our activity, and it has helped us so much in language learning. So what you have said is definitely true of how AI could contribute to quality and educational learning.
Yeah. That's good for you because actually I'm also want to encourage you guys because actually not only Duolingo, but in this world there are also so many good applications. And to recommend from recommendation for me, I feels like trying to knows about what tools or what application can help us. I have heard so much of the people that's still afraid of the technologies or the AI that come to replace that. And that is also the topics for today's, and I will talk in the next chapter. But yeah, for me, the suggestion is that don't afraid. Try to learn it, try to understand it, and it will help you a lot. Like you said, that you also use the Duolingo that as a part of the learning. So that's this. Very good. Yeah.
Yeah, there are also many other applications that help us students for learning, like ChatGPT and Hotpot AI. So it is very effective.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. Okay, so the next topic is about affordable and clean energy. I'm feel very sure that these last two topics, that SDGs number 7 and 13, how AI can gonna help us, because actually it's a very far away topic from our lives. But actually, for the affordable and clean energy, AI now is take a very crucial role in the energy sector, particularly in optimizing energy grids and promoting renewable energy by predicting energy consumption patterns. AI can help manage supply and demand more effectively, reduce costs, and minimize waste. Moreover, AI can optimize the performance of renewable energy sources like wind and solar, making clean energy more viable and accessible. So that is about this point. And the next is about the climate action. So the climate action is when it comes into the climate action, AI also has a powerful tool for modeling climate change scenarios and predicting natural disaster. I also heard that Japan also used the AI technology to help them to predict the time and how they can take a role to help the people when the very strong and very bad environment comes into that area. So this is only a little bit of the how AI can gonna help you're in there for the climate action. And yeah, the AI can also help monitor environment changes such as the deforestation and pollution levels, contribute to conservation efforts. Yeah, so next slide, please.
What
Yeah.
AI methods are being used to analyze and predict the increasing frequency and severity of extreme weather events caused by climate change?
Again, please, my signal, sorry.
Which AI methods are being used to analyze and predict the increasing frequency and severity of extreme weather events caused by climate change for SDG point 13?
Yes, so the technology that's for AI that's help in this part. For actually, there are also like an application like if you know this application is named Rain Viewer. The Rain Viewer also use the AI technologies to predicting the area of the rain and have a storm. So that is only a little bit of the example of the real world application. And also for the government. For the government, my professor also told me that today in Thailand they also try to adapt and try to use the artificial intelligence to help it monitor the problem of the forest fire. So there is a huge problem when there is in the summer season at the north of Thailand. That is a very there always had a fire every year, and so the methods of all of these methods is the things that we and they trying to make it more easier to try to solve the problem and try to predict. So like, you know, if we wait until that situation happen, maybe it's very late. Yeah. So that the things that we try to do is that we try to predict and we try to make it more accuracy to predict the situations. And that is the point of how AI works. Yeah, the point is the AI is only the technologies that trying to predict many situations, many cases. So that is the things that AI can do.
Thank you so much for the answer, Sir Win. So, moreover, one of the most pressing debates in this era is the question of whether AI could eventually replace human roles in certain industries. What are your thoughts on this, sir?
Actually, I also heard this the kind of question for many years since I started to doing the computer engineering and also in the artificial intelligence field. But for the answer, some of you guys may not agree with me, but for me, I feel like for now, the AI cannot replace 100% in the humans industry. The reason is, let me speak like this. Instead of you have to fear about the AI will replace the humans in today's industry, you may have to fear the people who can understand and who can adapt the AI tools to use in real life. Actually, the beginning of the AI is that we built it to help you guys, to help us as like one of your assistant when you have to work in real life and in everyday life. So the task that the AI can do for now is only the repetitive task. Like if in the business case, many of the business use AI to help their works, like key fill in the information that is very repetitive and very boring. So when it reduce the workforce and the workloads in their backlogs, so now the people can have much time to trying to do the new task and trying to develop the new things in their lives and in their businesses. So that is the point. But I will give you a concept that you may notice that there are also this kind of the people. So please, next slide. So the concept that I'm going to talk to you is that now we have like a 4 group of people in the age of AI. So after this session, now you may are trying to learn what is the artificial intelligence or learning to know about the tools of the AI more. So let's talk about the first group. No, next slide, please. So the first group is called Smart Cyborg. So what is Smart Cyborg? Smart Cyborg is the human that is very good. They have like a intelligence, they smart, they can solve any problems in the world by their own, and they also use and they also understand how to adapt the AI technologies to their real life. So what is the result? I will compare it to the grading system to make you see more picture of it. So the result is when the Smart Cyborg do the works, the results of the work, if comparing to the grading system, is they will get A or A+. And for the second group of the people is called next slide, please. The next group is the smart users. Smart user is the normal people. Isn't good, isn't bad, but still understand and still know how to adapt the AI into their real life. And the result is we can get like the B or B+ of the quality of the works in real life. Like for the example, in one of my friends, now they are trying to learn about how to coding in the different language like Python, like or SQL. And the problem is before the birth of the generative AI or ChatGPT, the things how we have to try to solve the problem if we got the task, like have to coding in any task. And if we don't know, we have to research. We have to search on the internet, and it's still good, but it may take times, and how to learn code may get more difficult. And for now, with the birth of the generative AI that's have the much more role in everyday's life, I have asked that friends like last month, and they said that learning the code is not that hard and it's very easy, because if they don't know, they just ask like a ChatGPT to help him and to teach him how to code and to ask about the syntax or the logic. So this is the point, is that for now you don't have to be like that. You don't have like to be good and expertise very much in that way. You have to have like a logic, and only have to like try to adapt and want to question about the things, because the key of the ChatGPT that we have used is that we ask them how to make the results for us. We put the situation, and then generative AI produce the results to us. So that is the point. And to compare with the last 2 group of the people, that is number 3rd and number 4th. For the third group called smart human. Smart human is like almost like the first group of the people that is the Smart Cyborg, but the difference is this group is a human that will not and don't want to use the AI. They solve all the problem and they're trying to work by their skills. Actually, I am not said that it's not good to solve the problem by your own skills. Actually, it's good, but in the real world, to compare the reason why I put this group at the third, even though they are very good, is that in the real world, we also have like one of the variable that is time. To compare with the second group that is the normal people, but they use AI, and compare with this group that is smart human. Smart human may solve the problem. This is a very, very hard problem in 2 or 3 days. But if with the using of the AI, we don't have to be that expertise, but we still can do the very tough tasks like coding. And we can take time like only 30 or 40 minutes. Like me, I also used to have a task like I have to do like analyze the data and visualize the data. In the past, when I got a task like that, I may have to use the whole day of it at the morning until the midnight to finish 2 or 3 tasks. But at the last few years, the generative AI has been developed and is a very, very good offer doing the task for us. For now, I only can do for just like 30 minutes and then finished. So that is how scary of it, because if you don't use the AI, you will more, it's very time consumption. But now if with the using of AI, after finished tasks, you can do much more tasks, and the many things will get developed faster than yesterday and in the next few years. I'm also sure that the many things, not only technologies, will still trying to develop more faster. And the last group, that is the group that is the most worried in the real industry, is called human. Human is only the normal people, doesn't good, doesn't bad. They not expertise in any ways of the real life, and still not use AI or understand and don't know how to adapt the AI in real life. This group is very dangerous, because you will get in the first 2 group or even the third group, they have more chance to get work or more chance to improve yourself more than this group of the people. And also this concept also can adapt to the real business. To compare the business, the first business have like many people, many potential people, and they also have many resources. Compare with another business that has a little of the potential people and only little of the understanding of the technologies and AI. The second business, anyway, they may have a chance to take a compete, but it's very hard. So, like for me, the recommendation is trying to understand it. AI is not scary. It's come as an assistant, and it can help you a lot. So it's still not late. And yeah, for the next topic is maybe the topics that you might interest more is that so to survive the AI age in this present day and in the future, what is the most critical skills that you may have to learn or to understand? Instead of the understand of the AI, I will suggest that it's lifelong learning. The lifelong learning is the things that instead of learning many things, many hard things within the days before, to compare with the student's life, like tomorrow we have the examination, and this is the last night, and we're trying to solve or understand the physics or chemistry. That is a very hard topic. It's impossible. It's very impossible. Actually, it may possible, but the result is not good. You understand, right? But the keys of the lifelong learning is that we make as it habit. We make it like as a routine. Now we don't have to trying to understand. We don't have trying to learn the hard things in only the few days or only in the night. We only spend time like a half of the hours or only the some of the 15, some of the minutes to learn, to understand the new things, but make it every day. And in the next few months or few years, you will get like a more understanding, and you can stay on top in the very fast developing trends in the real world. So that is where will be very benefit to you in the every aspect in the real life. And also I also heard that with the comes of the AI, the critical thinking and analytic skills is not important anymore. I will say in here is that I'm very strongly disagree with this point, because like I mentioned that earlier, the key of how generative AI is work for us or ChatGPT is work for us is that we have to key the command to it, like give me the text of this homework or something like that. The beginning of it, we have to question, we have to ask, right? So to question and to ask, we have to have like analytic skills and the critical thinking, because the different prompts, different questions, it will give the different output and the results. So better you have like a logic, you can have like a question about many things. It will help you a lot in the real world and in today's world, and even though in the future. So start questioning, start to think about what it is or what it should be or how it should be represented to the real world. And also the last things that I'm going to share to you is that don't be scared of AI. Even though in today's they may have the news like bad technologies, but the point is today AI and many technologies that is developed and that is comes to real life. The point is they want to help us, but like the coin has two sides. The technologies can also create like the bad things, like in the past that at the beginning of the internet, we also scared that the internet may take a harm to the people. But to solve this problem is begin by ours. I'm not sure about all of you guys. Maybe one of you guys in here, in the future, you may become the developer or become the programmer like me, and some of you guys may take a role as many jobs or many occupation. But the basic things is that you have to have like a good mind, have like responsibilities, and also always think to other people's. And we can't, and that time we can protect this problem, because if all people think like this, like we are the good people, we are trying to do the good things for the humanity. Now we can create the new many things that will help us and will make our life better. So don't be scared of AI and try try to understand it, try to learning from it, to make it as one of your assistant, as the improvement path for the future. So that is all of my session, and I'm very happy if you guys have any questions. I will try to answer the best. Yeah, thank you.
I definitely really agree that we should not be scared of AI, but if we were to be scared of AI, we should actually be scared of the people who are using it. That's my
Yeah.
opinion though, because like AI does what we tell them to do, right? So the things that people say that AI could be very harmful, I think it just depends on the people who don't use them very effectively. So I think we should not be scared of AI because it is actually very, very beneficial, and it really helps us.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Q&A part will be at the end though, and I'm gonna thank you so much, Sir Win, for sharing with us. Your insights on how we can strike the right balance will be invaluable. I'm eagerly anticipating a robust discussion on these crucial issues which sit at the very intersection. Okay, next we will play a game, and it will be led by our MCs again. Adam and Aji, back at you.
Thank you, Lovely. Thank you, Lovely, for the amazing time with Sir Win. All right, we would like to express our appreciation to the for amazing moderator. Thing, and we all should know about it in today's technological industry. Moving to our agenda, to our next agenda, which is game. Please wait a moment as we prepare the game.
Hello, this is Quiplash 3 Awakenings. My name is Schmitty, and I'll be taking real good care of you. And extra players can put in that room code and vote in the audience. Round 1 is upon us. You're about to see a couple of different prompts on your device. Enter your best response for each, then go head-to-head against another player's best stuff. Oh, and everyone else gets to vote on their favorite. Points are awarded based on the percentage of people who went for your answer, so make them count.
To all participants, please join our game. Please enter jackbox.tv on your web browser and use the code UDGE to join the game. We'll be waiting.
Okay, let's see what you've wrought. And going first is... Okay, pick one.
Okay, in here, sustainable development sacrifices the fulfillment of the next generation for the sake of the present. Which one is true? Is it true or false? One, everyone. Choices. You have 10 seconds. Okay, and the correct answer is true.
Without further ado,
Next question.
Here's the fun
We
part.
have
Pick
here,
your favorite quip.
artificial intelligence is included in technological development. Is it true or is it false? Choose now. Here, the correct answer is true.
And next,
Next question. The
now it's
science-
time to vote for your favorite.
Now, the next question here. Technology does not provide benefits to life. Is it true or is it false? Correct answer here is false.
Round 1 is but a memory. Let's see those scores.
Okay, so please wait for the next set of questions.
Get yourselves ready, because round 2 takes no prisoners. Double the points, double the anxiety.
Okay, everyone, I want you to type in jackbox.tv to your web browser to join the game and put out the code that is UVGE. I repeat, the code is UVGE on jackbox.tv. Please enter it on your web browser.
Let's make some noise. Kicking things off, okay, time to
next
choose.
question. Here, adequate water quality is one of the sustainability development goals on point 6 and 14. Is it true or is it false? Okay, and here the correct answer is true.
Next on the docket,
Okay, next question.
time to pick the one you
Excessive
like
use
best.
of AI can have bad effects. Is it true or is it false?
Next up,
Correct answer is true.
now it gets real. Pick
Okay.
your favorite.
This is next question. The science that studies natural resources and human resources is the meaning of economics. Is it true or is it false? Okay, the correct answer here is true.
And round
you all
2
for
is
playing our
history.
game.
Let's see how it'll be remembered.
Because that is all for the first game. So thank you for all participants for playing. Now it's time for us to move to our next
Welcome
agenda that
to
will be led by our next
Whiplash. One last chance to
Jessica.
strut
The
your
time
stuff.
is
I'll be
yours.
sending each of you a prompt that needs 3 separate responses. Easy stuff. And since we have an odd number of players, You get the honor of competing against me.
All right, thank you for Adam and Aji. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our highly anticipated discussion on the intersection of economics and the Sustainable Development Goals. The SDGs represent a global commitment to addressing some of the most pressing challenges of our time, and it's clear that a strong, sustainable economy is essential to achieving these goals. Now, before we let to our next conversation, I'd like to read our next speaker's CV. As you can see on the screen. No, no, no. Sir Jordan J. Mantuanu, or known as Sir J, graduated from University of Philippines School of Economics, majoring in Business Economics. Sir J graduated and achieved magna cum laude. Sir J achieved final presentation champion and People's Choice Awardee from Unilever Business Week 2022. Sir J used to work as Officer Media Marketing Intern in Emma, the sleep company PH. Now you can see the rest of Sir J's achievement on the screen. Next, udah. Let's begin our discussion by focusing on SDGs point 1, which aims to end poverty in all its forms everywhere. Poverty is a deeply entrenched issue that is closely tied to economy structures and policies. I would like to invite our speaker, Sergey, to share his thoughts on the economic strategies that have proven effective in tackling poverty.
Sorry, hi, can you hear me?
Yes?
Yeah. So good morning to everyone, or good morning to all the students. I'm really excited to be here. Actually, I'm really good friends with Mr. Okta and Win. So we joined a competition before, and it's been a year actually. We're celebrating the anniversary this year. So it's really good to be here and doing it with them. So, but then to answer the question, yeah, there are a lot of different successful initiatives, yeah, perhaps from different regions and sectors that have really made a tangible impact on reducing poverty levels. Such as, for example, when you go here in the Philippines, we have this program called 4Ps. It means Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program. It's like a conditional cash transfer program in the Philippines that has really successfully lifted millions of households out of poverty. It's some sort of like a provision of financial assistance on the condition that the children of the different parents attend school and receive regular checkups, right? And even, for example, when we go to Thailand, there's this thing called the One Tambon, One Product, or OTOP. And that initiative, promotes local entrepreneurship by supporting small businesses as well in rural areas or in underserved communities as well to develop and, market unique products from their own culture. And this program has really, significantly improved local economies and reduced poverty in those areas as well. And even when you go to Bangladesh, we have this thing called BIRA, or ultra poor graduation program, which provides the poorest with the tools they need to escape extreme poverty, such as, for example, giving them assets or different devices, relevant trainings as well, and even healthcare. So I think that program also had been adopted in other countries, including, for example, here in the Philippines, with really successful outcomes. So you see in different countries, a lot of programs are being held in order to adhere to the SDG 1 and in order to make SDG 1 a reality, not just for those who have access to, devices, access to money, but also those people who do not have access to these things.
All right, thank you, Sergey. And now I would like to ask some questions. The first question is, uh, what role does education play in economic strategies aimed at reducing poverty?
Yeah, of course. This is something you can relate to, especially for high school students, right? So really education is a fundamental tool in reducing poverty, as it really equips individuals and even students as well with the skills and, knowledge needed to secure better employment and better life in the future, right? So, for example, even that there in Indonesia or in the Philippines, increasing access to quality education, especially in impoverished areas or in other sectors which are underserved at the end of the day, it really helps break the cycle of poverty by empowering individuals to pursue higher paying jobs and participate in formal economies, right? And aside from that, education also promotes entrepreneurship and even innovation, and that helps stimulate local economies and create jobs for other people who don't have access to the job market.
Thank you, Sergey, for the answer. Now I would like to move to another questions.
Mhm.
Could you provide some examples of successful initiatives, perhaps from different regions or sectors, that have made a tangible impact in reducing poverty levels?
Yeah, as I said earlier, these are programs like, for example, from the Philippines for peace, or even from Thailand, the OTAP one, or even in Bangladesh, the ultra poor graduation. I think these programs really work hand in hand with each other, and that doesn't mean that, for example, if a certain program just exists in one country, it doesn't mean that it can be adapted to other countries as well. So I think the key term here is that these countries should be able to work with each other as well and learn from, for example, not just the success of these different programs, but as well as the pitfalls of these programs to make it more efficient when you try to adopt it in other countries. So I think in this way, SDG 1 and reducing poverty is not just about making sure that you as a country improve as well, but being able to have that tangible impact, or like a that like a known impact to other countries as well, especially to your neighboring countries. So I think that's really, really important when you talk about reducing poverty and you talk about programs to reduce poverty at the end of the day.
Thank you. Now, can we move to the next slide? This is such an important question, which is how do we overcome poverty? Would you like to explain more over to us?
Of course, of course, of course. So starting with SDG 1, which is low poverty, economic growth is really crucial in lifting people out of poverty, right? Especially for you guys. However, it's not just about growth, I would say. It's really about the quality of growth that you as a country or you as an individual has. So inclusive economic policies, I would say, is the key to overcoming poverty, because it's ensuring that wealth is distributed more equitably to different sectors, and especially those people who need it the most, right? And for instance, creating jobs that offer fair wages, or like wage level that is enough for them to survive every day for their family, or even like implementing social protection systems. Like, for example, what happens if this person gets into an accident? Hopefully doesn't happen, right? But what happens if this is the only person supporting the family, or even when the person retires, what are their options moving forward at the end of the day, right? And even in investing in infrastructure, or even in buildings in underdeveloped areas, ensuring that they have access to, for example, basic healthcare, such as checkups, especially for pregnant women, for the elderly, and even for the kids or for the youth, right? I think this different programs and a combination of these programs, they work hand in hand with each other in order to dramatically reduce poverty levels in different areas as well. But more than that, I think when we talk about macroeconomics, this means like these are the policies that can improve, for example, your gross domestic product. I don't know if you guys have brushed through that as high school students, but these are indicators of how well country is doing in terms of different sectors, for example, agriculture, or even healthcare, or even job opportunities as well. I think this also includes managing inflation, which talks about the rate of increase of the prices of different products, right? But making sure, uh, and also when we talk about government debt, right? How much does, for example, Indonesia owes Japan, or how much does the Philippines owe Japan at the end of the day? I think all of this play a really critical role in maintaining the economic environment necessary for sustained poverty reduction in different areas as well. So making sure that these different policies work hand in hand with each other is very important for them to ensure that it's effective in reducing poverty levels.
Right, thank you, Sergey, for the answer. Now I will ask some crucial question, which is what are some of the common obstacles that hinder the success of poverty reduction programs?
Yeah, of course. That is a very important question. I think I would say I have like a few things to say on this question.
Yes.
One could be lack of coordination, right? It means that poverty reduction programs, they often suffer from poor coordination between government agencies, right? For example, when you try to implement a program about 4Ps or giving conditional cash transfer different to poor families, right? It allows it necessitates you to be able to work hand in hand with different organizations as well, or different non-government organizations, or even the private sector for it to work effectively, right? And it having that lack of coordination, it might lead to overlapping efforts and efficiencies, which we don't want to happen in the first place. But secondly, it can be about limited funding, right? How can you make sure that the program is effective if you don't have money to do it, right? So insufficient funding really can undermine the sustainability and scalability of the poverty reduction programs as well, especially in rural areas where resources are very scarce. So other than that, which is a really, really big problem, regardless of what country you're in, is corruption, right? I think everyone would agree to that. Corruption can really divert, funds from their intended purposes. And then it's weakening the impact of poverty alleviation programs. Other than using that money to help other people, it goes directly to the pockets of those selfish politicians at the end of the day. And it's really not effective if we want to pursue or we want to move forward with poverty reduction programs. Aside from that, it can be political instability, right? Aside from corruption. In regions, for example, in the Philippines or in other Southeast Asian nations, they're affected by conflict or political unrest between different political parties as well. So, poverty reduction efforts in these cases may be disrupted, and it's, preventing long-term progress for these programs to be more effective at the end of the day.
Thank you, Sergey.
Mhm.
Now I would like to ask another question. How can we
Sure.
ensure that poverty reduction strategies are inclusive and reach the most vulnerable populations?
Yeah, that's a very important question. Aside from acknowledging the different points why these programs are not effective, I think there are still ways for our strategies to make these programs more inclusive and reach the most vulnerable populations at the end of the day, right? One step could be having a targeted interventions. This could mean like poverty reduction strategies should be designed with a focus on the most vulnerable groups, right? Such as women, as I've said earlier, or children, or even indigenous people, and those in remote areas, or it's very hard to travel to them or get out of that city, right? So can involve also tailored programs that address specific needs, such as the education, healthcare, or even employment opportunities for these individuals. But I think secondly, which is also more important, is a community involvement. I think involving local communities in the planning as well and implementation of poverty reduction programs ensures that interventions are relevant as well, right? And effective. Participatory approaches as well can help really identify, for example, the unique challenges that are faced by different communities or ensure that the solutions are targeted and culturally appropriate. Like, for example, in a scenario where you have a rural community and you try to make sure you have good intention of creating a mall for them, right? But then at the end of the day, if you analyze the data in that certain sector, you can see that 99% of people there, their main job is to have a small sari sari store, like a small store, grocery store But then if you try to create a mall for them, it might not be appropriate, even though your intention might be to give jobs to these individuals, because you're trying to remove the purchasing power of the suppliers in those areas. So, making sure that your programs are appropriate or culturally relevant to those situations or to the people you want to help. It's really important. And given and then in addition to that, monitoring and continuous evaluation of those programs are really important to make sure that you address where you're lacking or what are the pitfalls as a program as well. Those things.
Thank you, Sergey. That makes us realize that to overcome poverty, we have a very long way to go. All right. All right. Okay, let's move to our second point, SDGs point 2. Now we are going to talk about the world hunger or zero hunger. We are going to focus on ending hunger, achieving food security, improving nutrition, and promoting sustainable agriculture. The global economy plays a pivotal role in this endeavor, particularly when it comes to research allocation, international threat, and policy coordination. Next. All right, now I would like to ask, how do we end and address the world economy hunger?
Yeah, I think this can be answered in multiple ways. But I think the way to do world economy and to make it more addressable is to make sure that different nations and different organizations that combine these nations work together in order to help, in order to address the world hunger at the end of the day, right? Because it's not just a fight against not just a fight between nations, but it's a fight against humanity hunger. And that's really, really important when you talk about economic policies or even international cooperation to make sure that as I've said earlier, it's applicable to poverty because these two work hand in hand, right? The reason one indicator why a certain country is poor or suffering from poverty is because a lot of people in that nation suffer from hunger. So I think in those ways, we make sure that these programs that you, for example, try to implement in one country is something you can also adopt in other countries as well. So make sure that the food production and even the distribution and access to equitable and sustainable programs for addressing world hunger is something that um you can also optimize, for example, in other regions.
Thank you, Sergey. Now I would like to ask this. In your opinion, what economic challenges do you countries face when trying to implement sustainable agricultural practices?
Of course. I think I can answer this in a few points, right? One, it's really the initial costs, right? Transitioning to sustainable agriculture, it often requires significant upfront investments, not just from the government, but also from different organizations, right? For example, this can be investment in new technology or even investment in new training for your human capital and for infrastructure as well. And that can be challenging for developing countries, especially for the Philippines or Indonesia with limited financial resources. But secondly, it's about access to the market. Like farmers specifically, even though they have sustainable practices or sustainable agriculture, right, they may struggle to access markets that are dominated by large scale corporations or large scale industrial farming. So without, fair trade policies at the end of the day, or consumer protection or supplier protection, or even if there is no consumer demand for sustainable products, right, it might be really difficult for these farmers to achieve economic viability at the end of the day. But other than those 2 points, I think one more important issue is policy barriers, if you guys are aware with that. So in some countries, agricultural policies still favor, conventional farming at the end of the day. And by providing subsidies and support that are not accessible to sustainable farmers at the end of the day. And that creates, an uneven playing field, and it discourages as well the adoption of more sustainable methods. And other than that, especially for Southeast Asian countries, we are vulnerable to climate change challenges. And that also disrupts the shift to sustainable practices or sustainable agriculture by increasing the frequency of extreme weather events or, and it's disrupting the food production and it can lead to higher costs for our farmers.
Thank you for your answer. Now I would like to move to next questions, which is how
Mhm.
can global economic policies be adjusted to better support the goal of ending hunger by 2030?
Of course. So for that question, having a goal of ending hunger by 2030, we think that is really ambitious, but I think there are programs or steps that we can take in order to make this happen, right? One could be like promote, as I've said earlier, the reason why this farmers are suffering at the end of the day are promoting sustainable practices is because they're because of unfair trade laws. So I think promoting fair trade between different organizations or different nations could make this happen as well, or can this can also mean like adjusting global trade policies as well to ensure that developing countries can access the markets, even the first world markets, on fair terms. And on fair terms, which is very essential. Or this could include, for example, reducing the tariffs, if you guys are aware with tariffs. So this is something that you pay before you enter the product to a certain nation, right? And even trade barriers or promoting fair trade certifications and ensuring that these agreements support sustainable development goals at the end of the day. But secondly, one more way is to redirect the subsidies to the farmers themselves. So, for example, for global agriculture, global agricultural subsidies should be really restructured to support sustainable practices as well and to smallholder farmers, right? Rather than large scale industrial agriculture or big corporations at the end of the day. I think this would also encourage them to be more equitable, right? And environmentally friendly in terms of food production.
All right, thank you, Sir Jay. Can we move on to the next slide? Yeah. So I would like to ask, does every country in the world has to help each other to overcome hunger?
Yeah, definitely. Regardless of their economic status, everyone is, expected to contribute to fight against to the fight against hunger, right? Every country should be able to contribute to the fight against hunger through, for example, nature and even the scale of their contributions at the end of the day can vary based on their economic status. But at the end of the day is that every nation works toward fighting the world hunger at the end of the day. So I think that's a very, very clear answer to that question.
All right, thank you. I also agree that every country has to help each other on
Mhm.
overcome this hunger. Next. I'm very interested to hear your thoughts on these complex but critical issues. Let's discuss at the SDGs point 12, which is centered on ensuring sustainable consumption and production patterns. The economic challenges associated with this goal are substantial, given the need to balance economic growth with environmental sustainability. Next. Could you explain the potential economic benefits of achieving SDG 12?
Yeah, of course. So when we talk about SDG as well, it talks about responsible consumption and production. So it's not just one way, but it's two-way, right? You make sure that you have responsible consumption, that making sure that you don't consume too much versus what you need. Like, for example, excessive shopping when you go to stores or malls just to, get new clothes and be on trend and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with that. Making sure that it's responsible for you as a consumer as well, especially for production, especially for corporations. Because right now we're living in a more capitalist world, right? Where
Yeah.
more means better. And that's very detrimental when we talk about our economy. Because when we talk about economics, it's not just a study of natural resources, but it's a study of the scarcity of natural resources, making sure that we divide these resources equitably to people who need it the most. But achieving SDG 12 can really yield to numerous benefits, right? One could be resource efficiency. So by promoting responsible consumption and production, resources, as I've said earlier, can be used more efficiently, and that could lead to cost savings, not just for businesses, but for households as well, and reducing the need for raw materials, which are limited at the end of the day. Secondly, this can lead to innovation and job creation, right? So the shift towards sustainable production can really spur innovation, and it can lead to development of new technologies as well, and even new emerging industries as well, which in turn can really create jobs and boosts the economic growth of a certain nation or a certain region as well. Next to this, which is more important, would be the reduction in waste management costs, right? This can mean like efficient resource use and waste reduction can lower the costs that are associated with waste disposal or waste management at the end of the day. And that's benefiting both the businesses and the municipalities and the people living in those nations at the end of the day. So I think these things can pursuing SEG 12 can really lead to long-term economic sustainability and even market competitiveness for different industries. So I think this is really, really important, especially in this age, right? Mhm. I think you're muted.
Thank you, Sir Jay. I think we all can relate about the overconsumption problem and the waste.
Mhm.
Now let's move to the next questions, which is what economic sectors do you think face the greatest challenges in transitioning to sustainable models?
Of course. So I think that's a very important question, especially for high school students. I think this is something everyone should be aware of. For example, when we go to the energy sector, the fossil fuel industry, it's now facing significant challenges in transitioning to renewable energy because the trend right now is we use, for example, the solar power, even hydropower or water, and gaining electricity from these resources at the end of the day to make it more renewable and um more environmentally friendly, right? But then the transition from fossil fuel, which is dangerous, to renewable energy such as sunlight or even water, it's very difficult because it's due to the high costs of infrastructure changes. You know, building new infrastructure can be really, really expensive, especially for them. And the entrenched nature of fossil fuels in the global economy and the need for technological, for example, innovation to make renewable energy resources more viable and more accessible to different individuals can be really a challenge. But also when we talk about agriculture, the agricultural sector, it struggles with balancing the need for high productivity as well, right? With high consumption or high production, as I've said earlier, but then making sure that it's partnered with sustainable practices. So I think finding the balance between those two things can be really, really hard, especially for different government organizations. But other than that, when we talk about manufacturing as well, this industry is particularly those reliant on heavy industry, on fuel, on water, they really face challenges when it talks about reducing carbon inefficiencies or carbon emissions. And that's really, really big problem as well, because transitioning to sustainable materials, as I've said earlier, and even processes, they often require extensive and significant investment, like billions of dollars, and innovation. That's something people are not willing to take risk for.
Thank you, Sir Jay. I would also to inform that our local supermarket also uses this recycle and more reduce and repair things like they do not provide us with plastics anymore, so we have to
Mhm.
buy the the their bag. It's not from plastic, it's like something like organic, but the problem is the customers didn't want to waste their money on to buy this shopping bag on
Mhm.
even if it's only cost like 2,000 in rupiah. So I
Mhm.
think the other problem is also customers mindset.
Yeah, exactly. That's a big problem as well. Because even if the solutions or the policies are there already, but if the people are not willing to make that shift, or the people are not convinced that this is something really important to them and that this problem could affect them in the long term, it would be a problem, right? Because so I think having that policy is not enough, but also it's about convincing people to make sure that they collaborate or work to make that policy a success at the end of the day is very.
All right, thank you. Now I would like to move to our last questions.
Mhm.
What strategies can government employ to reduce economic barriers to sustainable production?
Yeah, many things that the government can help, especially because they have the money as well, right? But I think one could be subsidies and incentives, right? So governments can provide subsidies or even tax breaks or even low interest rates to businesses that really invest in sustainable practices. And I think that's something that could convince other businesses to follow the same path as well, creating you're making sure that your business is sustainable at the end of the day. But secondly, I think more research and development support could be done, right? Funding for research and development in sustainable technologies can really help overcome, the technical and economic barriers as well to sustainable production, and it can lead to innovations as well that reduce costs and ensure that there's efficiency. Other things could be regulatory frameworks, right? So it could mean implementing clear and consistent regulations across the industries can mandate sustainable practices. Because as we can see right now, when we talk about sustainability, it's still like a raw thing to talk about, right? It's not something um done or not something that is usual when we talk about production. This is still like a gray area for everyone, meaning that not everyone's still aware of how to make sure that their businesses have sustainable practices. But if you put it in the regulatory framework, it makes them aware, and that make it necessitates them to adhere to these policies at the end of the day. Other than that, lastly, it can be public-private partnerships, right? It's not just about the government working, because we know that um gov- government can be inefficient at times, right? Especially with corruption and political unrest in different nations. But making sure that we partner with private organizations and that governments can collaborate as well with these companies as well to develop and implement sustainable production methods. And it can be about sharing the risks and the benefits of transitioning to greener practices. So I think those things are really important to make, to reduce economic barriers to sustainable practices or production and consumption.
Yes, thank you, Sir Jay. And I also
Of
believe
course.
that the government plays a very big role on this sustainable problem. Now, I would like to thank you in advance for sharing your expertise, and I'm confident that our discussion today will be both very insightful and very actionable. Next, I will hand it over to Mr. Okta.
All right, we would like to extend our gratitude to Sir Jay for the valuable material and insights provided during the conference, and to our moderator, Jessica, for her excellent leadership in the sharing session. Economic growth is really crucial and has a big role in SDGs by reducing poverty, addressing hunger, and ensuring responsible consumption and production patterns. We hope that everything shared has been valuable and beneficial to everyone. We are now taking.
All right, thank you, Aji, and thank you, Sir Jay, for the amazing amount of information that has been given to all of
Thank
us
you
in
so
this
much.
conference. And now we would like to continue to our next agenda that will be led by our next moderator, Sir Okta. To Sir Okta, the time is yours.
So, okay. Hello. Yeah. Okay. 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 Thank you, Jessica. So, hello, everyone. I hope all of you are still enthusiastic and ready to participate in this today's webinar with full energies. So before we starting to our next remarkable speakers, please allow me to introduce her CV. Her name is Tamaha Ogawa, and she is commonly called Tamaha. She is a master student at School of Life Science and Technology, Tokyo Institute of Technology, and also she has experience as student researcher at University of California, Berkeley. Her current research focus on life science, especially in the field of molecular pathology of autism. Now, I would like to invite Miss Tamaha with us. So, hello, Tamaha. How are you today?
Hi, Mr. Okta. Thank you for your kind introduction. I'm
Hello.
good.
I'm good. Okay. Thank you for joining with us. This is the first time we met, right?
Yes,
Okay.
good time to
So,
see.
we have an exciting and crucial topic on our agenda, the relationship between science and the sustainable development goals. The role of science is in achieving the SDGs is undeniable, as it provides the evidence-based foundation for policy making, technological innovations, and sustainable development strategies. So there are uh, four four SDGs topic that we discussed today. Let's start by focusing on SDGs point 6, which aims to ensure the availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. Water is one of the most essential resources, and its management is a crucial issue that science is uniquely positioned to address. So I would like to ask our speaker, Ms. Tamaha, to elaborate on how scientific research and technological innovation are contributing to overcoming the challenges associated with water management and sanitation. So the question is now we are going to the question. So what do you see as the biggest challenge in achieving sustainable water management worldwide?
Okay, so I think the biggest challenge related to water pollution is difficult access to safe water, especially in developing countries. I guess most of the developed country has clean has access to clean and safe water, but there are some countries, many countries that is not available for clean and clean and safe water, and especially for those countries, water sewage system is not developed. So that is the biggest problem,
So yeah,
I
I
think.
think every country has a different challenge in
Mm,
sustainable water management worldwide. So and then how to overcome water pollutions, Ms. Tamaha, maybe.
so for water pollution, there are many different cause of
Mm.
that problem. So each country should have appropriate method to solve that. But for water sewage system, create the easy manageable system should be ap applied to those developing countries. Like not so complicated, but they so that they can manage their own selves. So some developed country help to introduce some machines or like some like highly complicated system, but that it doesn't work for the developing countries that has not such as complicated system
Complicated
or
system.
like ability to solve to handle those systems. So like use ability of bacteria or filter
Mm.
kind of filter would be nice to use for those countries, I think.
Oh, wow. So I think it's really interesting that you said we can use the bacteria to overcome water pollution. Is it they did in Japan now?
Yeah, yeah. Japan has that water purification system using bacteria. So
Oh, wow.
bacteria has the ability to degrade the bio substances like debris from vegetables or something like cooking debris or like the life wastewater. So yeah, Japan uses those techniques for bacteria sanitation purification system.
Oh, wow. That's really amazing. Also, I think Indonesia should learn from Japan, I guess. Okay, great, great. Okay, new knowledge for me. So, okay, well, let's continue to our next question. So, can you explain how advancement in water treatment technology are helping communities access clean water and how to maintain water sanitation? Probably we can learn from Japan itself.
So maybe that bacteria purification system is
In
one of them.
detail. Yeah, yeah, in detail. Oh,
Mm.
one of them. So, do you know what kind of bacteria maybe?
What kind of bacteria? So we have the sewage factory, like the sewage will go to the process factory, and the wastewater is kept in the those tank, and in that tank there first of all there are some filters to remove like particles or not degradable by bacteria, and after going through the filter the water is further purified by bacteria. So bacteria can mainly degrade organic
Okay, organic.
substances, like so using the function of metabolism. So after those bacteria purification has done, the water is further purified using filter again, and used as live water. So we can use the wastewater as live water after cleaning. So water is recycling.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I understand. I really understand. Okay. So I think it's really interesting. Yeah, okay. We can using bacteria to degrade the organic compound and then we
Yeah.
can get the clean water. Okay. So I think the next question is how important is it to involve local communities in scientific efforts to manage water sources effectively? Like how good the government from Japan to collaborate with their citizens to maintain the water sanitation. Maybe other strategies from Japan.
Mm. So not now, but in the past,
Mm-mm.
Japan has a water pollution problem in river,
Mm-mm.
like a lot of detergent
Okay.
by washing dishes or something is throwing away in the river, and the river was so dirty. And at that time, government restrict the to throw away throwing away the wastewater into the river, and also some purification system is introduced. So then the situation is solved. So especially like the chemical pollution, like from factories or something, government should be have a significant role to regulate the wastewater.
Okay, I do agree. I do agree. So I think the government and also the citizens should collaborate together to face this problem. So yeah, yeah. So okay, thank you, Miss Tawaha. And also, this is the the news, yeah, from my students. So they are asking me to ask you that what are some of the most pressing scientific and technological issues in this area? For example, like water pollution from industrial activities or the improper disposal of hazardous materials such as nuclear waste in Japan poses significant threat to water safety. So, and how do these issues related to SDGs point six and what scientific advancements are being made to address them?
Yes, so the nuclear waste problem is the biggest topic in Japan as well.
Mm-mm.
But according to the government, the level of nuclear substances is low enough to
Mm.
let them into the ocean. And the nuclear substances is naturally exist actually. So they saying that the level of the nuclear substances is okay for
Mm.
now, but there are still much more wastewater
Mm.
affected by nuclear waste. So it is a problem actually. It takes so much time to handle with all of the wastewater. And now government is diluting to put them into the ocean so that the level is not so high. So it takes so time to process it. And yeah, other big news in Japan related to the water pollution is public.
Oh, sorry. I will ask you to unmute the microphone. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
So as I said before, some factories
Mhm.
releasing harmful substances in the river. So that was the big problem also in Japan. And those people who are affected by polluted water has some diseases. So that was a very, very serious problem. But now, because of that problem, we learned that like we should not release harmful substances into the river and try to prevent those things happen again. So now I guess Japan is the safe country and scientific technology. So you said like the scientific
Scientific
advancement.
advancement, yeah.
Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, so I think there are many ways to purify water. Like I said
Like you said
before,
before. Okay.
yeah, it is called ecological purification system. So purification system using bacteria.
Mm, okay. So yeah, as I know, nuclear waste has a long period to degrade, right?
Yeah.
And lifetime is so long, so it takes a long. And Japan now can handle it and to become a safe country. So okay, thank
Mm.
you. And now let's move on to the next SDGs number 13. So it's about the climate action. Is focused on taking urgent action to combat climate change and its impact. This goal emphasizes the importance of reducing greenhouse gas emissions, increasing resilience to climate-related hazards, and integrating climate change measures into national policies and strategies. And also, addressing climate change is crucial for the sustainability of our planet as it affects every aspect of life from ecosystems and biodiversity to human health and economic stabilities. Urgent and coordinated global efforts are needed to mitigate it effects and adapt to its consequences. So, uh, for the next questions is how can human activities cause climate change?
So yeah, maybe you already know, but CO2 is the main cause of the climate change. So global warming is also a part of the climate change, and climate change is caused by global warming. So it's so related, and by generating the CO2, the air is heated up. So there are some layers that prevent that enhance the sun energy, and it will be keep the surface of the earth very high temperature. And CO2 is generated by human activities like burning fossil fuels or um, like some other activities. So yeah, mainly burning was burning some CO to producing materials cause CO2 generation. So that's the main reason.
Hmm. It's okay. Can you share an example of a successful climate action initiative that has helped mitigated this impact based on Japan did maybe?
Mm. Yeah, so in Japan, it is partially succeeded to reduce the carbon emission, but it's not so much developed, I think. The
Mm.
most developed countries is as for the clean energy, it's Sweden or like North Europe country. So they're using renewable energy a lot, and
Mm.
that help to reduce the CO2 emission. But Japan is also trying to increase the renewable energy, for example, using solar panel. So we are
Mm.
introducing solar panel more and more. And
Wow.
also we have a heat, underground heat. So Japan is famous for onsen, I mean the hot spring, right? So we have heat energy underground. So we also trying to utilize it.
Oh, okay. And now let's move on to the next question. So, approximately how will this impact life if not treated immediately?
Mm. So obviously we like human ourselves is already impacted a lot from the temperature increase, right?
Mm.
So yeah, I'm in Tokyo, and the average temperature in Tokyo is rising up like 3 degrees compared to 100 years ago. 3 degrees is a lot, the big difference, I think. And that makes us hard to live without air conditioner. And we um, now in the very severe situation, especially in summer.
Mm.
But also other species on the earth is affected by the climate change, like the for example a polar bear which lives on the iceberg, that because of the high temperature iceberg is melting. So
Mm.
the place for the polar bear is decreasing, and they are endangered species now. So yeah, global warming and climate change affect those land species a lot as well.
Okay, so many phenomenon has uh happened today. So we can observe, for example, like you said, from the polar bear, yeah. So the ice is melting. So I think, yeah, that's one of the example of the impact the climate change. So okay, thank you, Ms. Tamaha, and let's move on to the next SDGs, number 14. It is about life below water, focuses on conserving and sustainably using these oceans, seas, and marine resources. This goal highlighted the critical role oceans play in regulating the climate, providing food, and supporting livelihoods. Key targets include reducing marine pollutions, protecting marine ecosystem, and addressing the impact of ocean acidifications. So achieving SDGs number 14 is essential for maintaining the health of our oceans, which are vital for biodiversity and the well-being of millions of people who depend on them. So uh, our question is here we have news reporting that sea levels are rising each year as released by NASA due to climate change. So what step is being taken by the field of science to overcome these problems? Maybe from your experience you have know, Miss Tamaha.
Mm. So, so this problem is related to many other problems. So it's hard to focus on only one just one technology. But like one of the science technology that is useful in this problem is monitoring system, I think. So to know what happened on the Earth, we should get many data. And to collect the data, sensors or like GPS systems and other technology related with AI or like IT system is very useful.
So okay. So many of the divisions can be contributed to this the sea levels. Yeah. So I think yeah, it's many of factors can effect of it.
Yes, the
Okay.
rising of sea level is caused by global warming. So we should
Mm,
tackle with global warming first
mm.
to
We
solve
have
this problem.
we have to overcome the global warming first.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay. So let's move on to the our last SDGs. Point number 15 is about life on land. Aims to protect, restore, and promote the sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystems. This goal addresses issues such as deforestation, land degradations, and biodiversity loss. Key targets include managing forest sustainability, combating desertification and halting the loss of biodiversity. Ensuring the health of terrestrial ecosystem is crucial for maintaining the balance of nature systems, supporting human well-being, and sustaining resources for future generations. So our questions is uh, as we discuss the critical issues, yeah, it's important to address the pressing question. So what happened if the waste problem is not handled immediately?
And so we are generating new waste now. So if uh we don't stop increasing the waste, there there is a chance that there are no place for landfill. So now we are both are burning the waste for burnable garbages, but we bring those unburnable garbages to the landfill. So if the waste is increasing, more and more land will be covered by the waste, and there will be no place to put the new waste. So we need to we immediately need to stop producing waste, and also it will affect land species. Like for example, plastic garbage problem is affecting animals a lot. Like that some birds eats plastic, and plastic it will cause choking, and they will be die. So the waste problem is both affect human and other animals as well. So we should handle it immediately.
So okay. And then our last questions. As we discuss environmental practice, let's turn out to attention to Japan, a country often prized for its cleanliness. So to shed light on this, I'd like to ask what step does Japan take to deal with waste, like a new innovation or advanced technology there?
I think the cleanliness in Japan is made by our characteristic, maybe, but
Oh.
we are educated to the importance of 3R. Have you ever heard of 3R? Reuse, reduce, and
Oh, okay.
recycle.
Yeah, we know.
So we use things repeatedly and minimize trash and recycling the garbage by separating. So the separating garbage system and recycling technology is very developed in Japan. So that's the one technology that specifically useful in Japan, I think. And also there are unique the unique things to reduce the street waste. So there are street trash bin for cigarettes, and they can vote for some questions. So like there are some questions on the box, cigarette waste box, and people will put the cigarette as a vote voting system. So that reduce the cigarette on the street a lot. And those are unique ideas is helping keeping cleanliness in Japan as well.
Wow. Wow, that's really cool. So I think, yeah, maybe I should uh read more about the Japan advances and try to become a teacher to apply all the innovations to reduce the waste in Indonesia. So thank you. All right. I would like to thank you to Ms. Tamaha. Thank you very much for taking the time to join and discuss with us in this webinar. So I'm particularly interested in hearing you thought and on the importance of interdisciplinary research and international cooperation in addressing these complex issues. So I'm confident that today's discussion will provide us with valuable insights into how science and continue to play a transformative role in achieving these vital SDGs. So let's dive into these topics and explore the ways in which science can guide us toward a more sustainable and resilient future. Now, we will open the Q&A sessions so all participants can ask their questions directly and I will give it to the MC.
All right. We would like to thank our conference speaker, Mrs. Samha, for the knowledge and insights about clean water and sanitation, the urgency towards climate action, and conserving life below water and life on land. We would also like to thank Sir Okta for moderating and leading the sharing session. We hope that the information shared has been helpful and valuable to everyone joining this webinar.
Okay, thank you all to our conference speakers for sharing us all a valuable piece of information in this meeting. We hope that all information that has been given to us may be useful in the future for all participants that have joined this conference. Moving on, we would like to start our Q&A session. To all participants who would like to give a question about the topic that we've discussed about, please ask us in the Zoom chat box. Jadi jika salah satu dari kalian yang belum fasih berbahasa Inggris dan ingin memberikan pertanyaan, kami juga bisa membantu kalian dengan menyampaikan pertanyaan tersebut agar bisa dijawab oleh para pembicara konferensi ini. The Q&A session will be led by our moderators. To our moderators, the time is yours.
So guys, feel free to unmute your mic or write your questions down in the chat room.
Don't be shy, guys. Ask anything you want to ask. Teman-teman yang mau bertanya boleh banget raise hand atau tulis pertanyaannya di chat box.
Boleh jika ingin nanya langsung, tinggal di unmute aja mic-nya.
Atau boleh langsung di raise hand.
And for reminder, there will be cool prizes for the top 5 questions. So ask your questions for a chance to win a door prize for the best questioner. If you have difficulty asking your question in English, so don't worry, as we moderators will have translated into English for you.
May I give a question?
Okay, sure.
Yes,
Sanum.
sure, Shanum.
Okay.
Let me
This is about AI for Mr. Warasad. According to what him say, AI can be used to help the learning activities such as Duolingo or ChatGPT. But as we know, sometimes AI made us too dependent on them, especially for students who use it for learning. So the question is, what's Mr. opinion about it and how to overcome that dependence problem? Thank you.
I'm also again, please. I can't hear. I think the signal is not good here.
Okay. Maybe Shanum, you can repeat your questions. Ya.
Kenapa, Kak?
Bisa diulang pertanyaannya tadi sinyalnya buruk tadi.
Okay.
Oke, terima kasih.
May I repeat? According to what you say, Mr., AI can be used to help the learning activities, such as ChatGPT or Duolingo. But as we know, sometimes AI made us too dependent on them, especially for students who use it for learning and irresponsible in its use. So the question is, what's your opinion about it and how to overcome that dependence problem?
the dependence problem, right? Yes, so in my opinion, yeah, I agree that in the present time that artificial intelligence has come to many parts of our lives, and to overcome the artificial intelligence, right? If I'm just got this question, I feels like to overcome the problems of this question in the artificial intelligence role, I feels like try to use them frequently for me. Yeah, because you know, actually the artificial intelligence is not that bad, and actually it's been with us for many years. Like it's around us for many years. Like for example, when you filter the spam in the email and check that is whether it is a spam, is the AI. And also when you choose for the when you select the movie, or when you shopping online and they recommend the product to you or the movies, is AI. And as you can see, the AI is not only been a part of only some application. Actually, it's been around us for many years, and you even need to notice that. So I think we don't have to do much. We only have to just for the minimum, you only have to know what is it and how to adapt it for like a benefit in real life or the real task of you guys. Yeah. If that's is the answer, or if you want me to justify more, just let me know.
So, Sanum, apakah sudah puas dengan pertanyaannya tadi ditanya?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Wallace. It's answering my question.
So thank you, Mr. Win, for the answer. And I think we see one question in our Zoom chat box. So maybe Jessica could read it.
Yes, thank you. So, the next question is from our participant Josh Yahaan. This question is directly directed toward all our case speaker. The question is, what are the key challenges that countries face in achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, and how can innovative solutions help overcome these obstacles? To our case speakers.
So maybe from Jay first, maybe yeah.
Yeah, sure, of course. Hi,
Okay.
everyone. Hi, Okta.
Hi.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi.
Yeah, of course. So thank you for the question. I think for specifically for economics, it's really the costs, right? So transitioning to and achieving or moving forward with the SDG goals, it really, often requires significant, really upfront investments in technology and infrastructure and even in training, which can be really a barrier for a lot of businesses as well, especially for small and medium enterprises here in Philippines or even in Southeast Asian nations, even in Indonesia, right? But secondly, it's about the lack of incentive as well, not having sufficient financial incentives or regulatory frameworks to encourage businesses or consumers to adopt the SDGs can really slow the progress of the SDG goals, and even having lack of consumer awareness and demand. So this could be a problem as well, and this could discourage companies or even individuals or even corporations as well from shifting to forwarding SDG goals at the end of the day. Other than this three, I think one more big thing is a global disparity, right? No, the economic disparities between countries can really make it difficult for developing nations to adopt or move forward with the SDG goals that we have. And as they may prioritize immediate economic growth rather than long-term sustainability for every nation, right? But for me, the solutions can be broken down into two, right? The policy level and even the private sector level as well. For policy level, we can have like, regulation and legislation where governments can really implement regulations and standards that mandate different production processes, making it more sustainable and giving them incentives and subsidies to incentivizes individuals to make the shift, to make it more sustainable, all the processes as well, even public procurement. And for private sector, it can be, encouraging them to have more CSR or corporate social responsibility, as well as having sustainable innovation and more consumer engagement for people. Because even though as I said earlier in my talk, even though these policies are effective and they may seem effective, right? But then if people are not convinced that this is something that they should be part of, they won't do that action to be part of that policy. And that may hinder the success of the project itself. So I think those things are very important. It's a combination of everything. It's about collaboration between different stakeholders in the industry. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Jay. Now it's Sir Warset starts.
Okay, so from the aspects of the artificial intelligence that are to deal with the sustainability goals. So I think the key factors and from the country is that the key points of the artificial intelligence is that there is a lot of money to train one model or one single model, and also a lot of data. So and also have to use like many key resource, like the computer have to have enough spec for training, and also they need the people who expertised or knowing how to coding. So actually, this is one of the limitation for each country to build one model that can solve and can develop in the sustainability goals. And to solve this problem, I feels like in each country or in each school should make the fundamental the learning goals about understanding. Only a little bit of it is okay. Don't have to do the full of the coding lesson. I know it's hard, but actually only a little bit of building the understanding for the students and also for the people to understand that what is AI and what is useful when you use AI for your real life. So I think that is gonna be the first things that in each country can help to do in order to develop the socialize and develop the people to handle in the future trends of the AI. Actually, in Thailand, we have like built the fundamental course learning in the elementary school for the students to understand what is artificial intelligence, for them to prepare and to know how to use it as a tools or as a assistant in the real life. So that is a kind of the recommendation for me. That's maybe the educational sectors or maybe in each schools, they can do it as teach them to make the student understand and see as it beneficial things, not eliminate it. Because I also used to see the many educational sector and many researchers that doesn't understand the real purpose of the AI, and they said that the AI will harm the students. The AI can not doing good, but actually, if we use it correctly, these things the AI can help you know, help you learn better, because it, yeah, like a technical terms, the AI, it has been trained by a lot of data and have been fine-tuned with many terms to make it more accuracy. So that's mean like a generative AI, they also can provide you a lot of the information or even though just the suggestion for you. So if we put this into the correct way, it can help you guys can develop yourself and also can develop the many section in the countries. That is from my point of view.
Thank you, Sir Warasat, for the answer. And now it's Miss Tamaha's turn.
So the innovative technology will may solve the problem, but technology is not only the way to solve the problem. Like as the other speaker said, like the inequality of the between the country is a very big problem, especially like the some countries has enough ability to solve the problem, but other countries has not have enough ability to solve the specific top field. So it is important to cooperate together across all the countries, and maybe like as the electricity changed the world, other technology can change the world. So we can't predict what happen in the future, but still be positive to for the future. And yeah, we hope that sort of problem will be solved. That's all for my comment.
Thank you, Miss Tamaha. Now we move to our next questions.
Yeah, mangga.
So this is our last question. It's from Gabriela Aurel, and this question is for Sir Win about AI. In the last point, you stated that we should not be scared of AI, but wasn't the evolving technology right now? It's evolving very much, right? And some countries are having crisis of working apa ya namanya? Lowongan kerja.
Apa?
Lowongan kerja. Working field. Like working field. Some countries are in a crisis for working fields. And there's a big opportunity that AI could replace that crisis. And so how's the way that we could feel safe and not be scared of AI? That's Gabriela's question.
Okay, so let me specify to you like this. For the main purpose that it may sound scary that many countries and many business are also like reduce the workforce in their business or in their countries, that this is a very huge problems. But actually, I will not make them bad like the news, but actually, if we look into the real how it's gonna be or how it's going to work in the real life, not by seeing the news. Actually, the artificial intelligence for the present time is still not that good. Yeah, I mean, it's still be a very amazing technologies that it can do many tasks for us. But in the terms of the business case, or in the terms that it comes to reduce the workforce and the workloads, the only type of the works that they comes to that the AIs can replace is only the repetitive task, like some occupation or some jobs that sitting in front of the computer and only fill in the information that have to do repetitive task, repetitive term. In that kind of job, yeah, I agree with you that it may gone in the future or in the several years in here, but it still have so many tasks, and it still have so many things that AI cannot do effectively, because it have been trained a lot to building one model. And in case that to feel more safe and to don't have to really afraid of the AI, For me, is try to adapt it. I will say that in the like 1,000 years ago, before at the present time that we drive a car, actually in the past, how to travel to one place to the one place is we walk, right? And then we try to adapt to make the animal and connect it to the car that have a wheels to be the transportation. And then we build like a bicycle, we build train, and then if we going aboard, we have like a boat or the plane. So the point is the artificial intelligence is the same. At first, it might look scary, but if we take time to it, we take time to understand it and try to learn from it, you will see that the AI or artificial intelligence is also be as like the one more way to create the new opportunity, to create the new job. And also the opportunity is also be the opportunity for you to use it to develop yourself. Actually, in this world, or even though in the small sector of the business, they also trying to make the employee to understand the key factors of the AI, or they are still trying to teach them and trying to knowledge them by understanding this kind of technology. And the result is many of the people that have been learned, they come back and tell me that, yeah, I'm agree with you that the AI is not that afraid. The other things that should be afraid, like I mentioned it in my session, is that you have to afraid the people who can be adaptable and who can adaptable to the new technologies or the new trends. Because in this world, the world move very fast, right? The new trends is coming every years. Like if we see on the last 5 years, we will see that we can't see the picture of the AI, as the AI is only in the search engine or every is in the only the high performance and high cost of the technologies. But now every people can be in contact and can keep in touch with the AI, even though you are choosing the shopping in the online shopping, like I said. So to feel more safe, as my recommendation, so be adaptable people. Try to keep on the trends and try to be the people who use the lifelong learning concept. So that's mean you can stay on top of the technologies or stay on top of the trends that still developing in every years. So that is my recommendations.
All right, thank you, Serwin, for answering, and thank you for Gabriella for asking. Next, the
Yeah. Okay. Okay. On behalf of the committee of SMAN 10 Bekasi or 10 Senior High School, Bekasi, Indonesia, I would like to say thank you for the gratitude for your time to Mr. Win, to Mr. J, and also for Miss Tamaha. So, and sadly, we have to end our discussions today. So now I turn out to Mr. Aji and Mr. Adam as MC for taking photo sessions.
Okay, thank you to our honorable conference speakers for providing us answers for all of the questions that have been given in the Q&A session. We hope that all of the answers that have been given to us may be beneficial in the coming future.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests. Yeah, okay.
Sorry, Miss Tamaha, can you open your camera? We would like to take a photo session, maybe. Okay, could you please spotlight Miss Tamaha? Okay, oh, so you are running to catch your schedule. It's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay, Tamaha. Okay,
It's okay to multitask.
okay. Let's count to take a photo session, Mr. Raji. Yeah.
Don't forget to smile,
Okay.
guys.
Okay, in addition, we would also like to take documentation for today's event. We're asking every person to keep and turn the cameras on to get their pictures taken. Semua peserta harap tetap menyalakan video kameranya ya untuk sesi dokumentasi.
Oke, hitung.
1,
2,
2,
3.
3. Smile, guys.
Okay. Again, one more. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining us
Thank you
today
for joining us today,
with this
guys.
remarkable webinar. So I think today is the third times our
Yeah.
school do
Thank you,
the scientific
everyone.
conference. Thank you, Mr.
Yeah.
Wee, Mr. J, and also Miss Tamaha, and
Yes.
also all the committee that involved in this conference. Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Congratulations on the successful event. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yay.
thank you.
See
Okay,
you guys on the next conference. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Okay, our honorable participants, that's all for Thank you all for joining us in this insightful webinar, and we've had a fantastic discussion and learned so much. We appreciate your participation and engagement. As we conclude, let's carry forward to the curiosity and excitement we've experienced here. Remember, the pursuit of knowledge is a journey with no end, and each of you is a vital part of this ongoing adventure. Hopefully, the knowledge gained from this webinar can be valuable, useful, and also be practiced in the future.
On behalf of the HSSC committees, we as the MCs would like to apologize for all the mistakes that were made and also express our gratitude towards our honorable mention, Sir Wortheth, Sir Jay, and Ms. Tamaha. We are so thankful for the material and lessons you've given us today. To our mentors, teachers, and committees, your support and guidance have been instrumental in making this conference a success. Your commitment to fostering young talent is truly commendable. And to our audience, your enthusiasm and engagement has been the driving force behind the vibrant discussions and exchanges we've witnessed today. We hope to see you all again soon.
Thank you once again for your participation and contribution. Keep questioning, keep discovering, and keep pushing the boundaries of what we know. Wish you safe travels, and we look forward to seeing you at the future conferences where science continues to inspire and unite us. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. See you guys.
See you. Thanks a lot.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks,
Thanks,
everyone.
everyone.